what's going on? Hope you guys are doing well. This is part 2 of the Instagram Q&A. I'm sorry this came a little bit later down the road than the first Q&A, but it's okay. I'm trying to get these videos out to you guys in a timely manner. But yeah, so I'm not gonna babble. I'm gonna go ahead and start answering the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. How long have you been natural? I have technically been natural since about 2005 or 6 technically, but I was still using heat extensively until about 2011. So I really don't count my natural journey until 2011 because that's when I really started taking it seriously and cutting out heat and, you know, actually caring about the product that I used in my hair and all that kind of good stuff. When did you realize what your curl pattern is? I was like many other women who go natural, looking online at naturallycurly.com, curlynikki.com, and all these other websites that talked about curly hair. And I think it was naturallycurly.com where I first started to see type differences as far as like type 4, type 3, you know, 3A, 3B, like all those things. And so I probably didn't realize what my texture really was until about a year ago, only because I think a year ago is when my hair was actually to its peak as far as health and cut off all my heat and bad ends and all that stuff. So I kind of finally, after all the years, started to truly see my true pattern. And so that's what I have now. So I think now, I believe I'm like a 3B all around, 3A in a little bit of the areas, but really 3B most days. My hair coils more on some days than not, so it really just depends, but I'm definitely in like a 3 type or type 3 area. Anything you dislike about your hair? I don't like the top of my hair, the way it lays sometimes, especially when my hair gets longer. My roots just flatten out, and then my part in the front, like usually I part it down the middle as you guys see most of the time, but when my hair gets longer, I always have to flip it to like the side like this because my hair like doesn't want to lay right when it's short like this, obviously, but when it's longer, it actually has the weight to kind of hold over. But I really don't even like my hair flipped over. I know that I need a haircut when I have to start doing that because I start losing shape, and this is really the shape that I like. So I would love to like continue to grow and grow and grow my hair to be really long, but I just hate the way that my hair in the front lays, and I lose volume at the top when my hair gets longer. So that's why I keep it at this length, really, because I like this shape and I'd rather have a nice shape and a nice look over length. Anything you dislike about the natural hair community? There's a few things I don't like about the natural hair community, to be quite honest. I think that we are very critical of each other at times, and for a place where you're supposed to be free and liberated to do as you please with your hair, I think that sometimes we can be very catty with each other and judgmental and, you know, critical of people's processes and journeys. And I think that, you know, we can leave that alone a little bit more. I wish we did, because being in the natural hair community is all about learning and all about expression and being yourself, and that's what it should be. It shouldn't be all this extra and, you know, worried about texture discrimination, which is what I've talked about on my channel and at a few other events. You know, that's a big thing that I see in the natural hair community, and I wish I didn't, but it exists and it's something that needs to be talked about. So if you haven't seen my video on texture discrimination, check that out. But yeah, those are a few things that I don't like about the natural hair community. How do you wear your hair to sleep? Real simple, okay? Pineapple, bam, bam, that's all I do. And in the morning, I shake it out and refresh it with some spray, maybe a little bit of water if needed, and I'm good to go. What product do you think helped your hair the most? I can't say that one product by itself helped my hair the most. I think it's more so a consistent regimen as far as using the, you know, really good ingredients in my hair, knowing what my hair likes, and being consistent with that. So nourishing my hair on a regular basis so that it has consistently what it needs to be healthy. And so doing my deep treatments weekly and using product that just doesn't make my hair look good, but it also makes my hair feel good and be good on the inside and the outside. Also taking care of myself as a person, so eating healthy and exercising regularly, drinking water. It is not just what you put on your hair topically, but it also matters what you're putting inside of your body and what is coming out of your scalp too. So you want to make sure that you're not just thinking about, well, what cream or what styler am I going to use, but also, am I drinking enough water? Am I giving my body enough nourishment to grow out healthy hair? So I think more than any product, it has to be consistency and a commitment to giving my hair the best ingredients and you know, setting it up for success. How do you use Jamaican black castor oil? I use Jamaican black castor oil mostly as an oil sealant. So when I style my hair, I'll use a little bit of oil to just kind of give me an extra oomph and some shine, but also mainly I use it with deep conditioners. So I'll usually add it to most of my deep conditioners. Recently I haven't been, because the Be Beautiful Deep Conditioner by Be Mine is one that I've been faithfully using for the past few weeks, and I love it, and I don't need that extra nourishment from the Jamaican black castor oil when I use that deep conditioner. And so instead of using in the deep conditioner, I still added on a little bit of it when I style my hair. So I'm still giving my hair the oil on a regular basis, just in different ways. But really those are the two main ways that I use Jamaican black castor oil. What products give you life and would be a forever staple holy grail product? Straight and curly. Okay, so as far as curly goes, I would have to say a staple holy grail. So if we're gonna talk historic and legacy and you know, a product that has held me down for years, has to be Kinky Curly Not Today leave-in. Has to be, hands down. That was one of the first products I ever used on my hair when I first went natural, and I will still use that product today. I don't use it a lot, only because I prefer other things now, but definitely if we're talking something that has stuck with me for forever, that is definitely the product for curly hair. And then for straight hair, gotta be my Agadir blow dry cream, the intensive cream that I use to heat protect my hair whenever I style it with heat or using heat tools. That cream has saved my curls whenever I do any type of heat style. It's lightweight, but it smells great, and it does give me the protection that my hair needs when I'm using heat. So for sure, that is definitely a staple, holy grail for my straight hair or whenever I use heat on my hair. How do you get your hair so thick? So I think a lot of my thickness comes from, again, using product that is good for my hair. So things that are moisturizing and things that are going to just promote growth and sustain length. And then also it's hereditary as well. I have a lot of hair, and I just have been blessed to have a lot of hair, and my hair wasn't always this thick. When I was using heat a lot, my hair thinned out a lot, but even when I was a child, I had a really, really thick hair. My hair is very fine, but I have lots of hairs. So my hair looks big, and it can get volume because my hair is very lightweight, but there's just a lot of it. So it can get big and poofy without being too weighed down if I don't use a lot of product. But for some people, it really just depends on the kind of hair that grows out of your scalp. I know, unfortunately, some women are just naturally don't have super, super thick hair. There are ways to thicken your hair up, but I can't tell you that there's a magic product that makes your hair this thick. It doesn't exist. In my mind, I don't think it does. If y'all know about it, use it. Tell your friends who are asking. But yeah, I don't think there's a magic product to make your hair super thick. Have you ever dyed your hair? What was your favorite color? Y'all know I done dyed my hair so many colors. I've been black. I had some red and blonde highlights in high school. I've had, you know, blonde tips before, brown tips before. I've had highlights again for a second time. They were like a reddish color. I've been blonde. I had brown at the roots and the blonde on the ends. And I've been purple before. Yeah, I've had fun with color, but I always resort back to black because this is my natural hair color and it just fits me well, and I feel most comfortable with this hair color. But I did have fun with all the other colors, especially the purple. The purple was so much fun. It was high maintenance because I washed my hair so much that the color would rinse out really fast, but it was so much fun to have it. It was definitely really cool, and a lot of people loved it. Can I train my hair to be curly? Sorry, baby girl. It just don't work like that. it just doesn't. Unfortunately, if you don't have naturally curly hair, you can't train it. And even if you do, if you're dealing with heat damage, you're trying to train your curls to curl back up, they will never curl the way they did naturally when they first came out of your head once they've been hit with that heat damage. Now you can do things like protein treatments and moisturizing treatments, especially the protein, but definitely you want to back it up with a moisturizing treatment so that your hair doesn't get hard or dry out. But protein treatments can help your hair coil back up a bit, but they will, again, it's only, it's like a temporary fix. Like, you have to continuously do protein treatments to keep your hair to coil like that. But if you do one protein treatment and never do it again, your hair will wave out back again until you just cut it. So, and scrunching does not train your hair unless you are, you know, twisting your hair up every night and using perm rods and flexi rods and all that stuff. Yeah, you can set it in a style, but training your hair to be curly, it doesn't happen unless you get like a perm and you use a chemical to chemically alter your hair. Are there other naturals in your family? Yeah, there are. I have a cousin that's natural. One of my aunts is natural. We're pretty open about natural hair in my family. It's funny because I have people in my family that are natural, but also, like, my twin sister, as you guys know, sells weave and is a great at her business. And so literally I feel like half the women in my family are wearing natural hair and the other half are wearing my sister's hair. So it balances out pretty well, but we're very big into hair, and that's just like a big thing in my family, is that all of us have like nice hair. Like, we're very big on hair in our family. Hair and shopping, that's our thing. Worst curly hair advice you've ever gotten? I haven't really honestly gotten a lot of bad advice, but I think advice that I don't take anymore seriously is getting trims every 6 weeks. I don't do that, and I don't believe that my hair needs a trim every 6 weeks because, one, I'm not using heat, and two, I'm using product that seals my hair in and seals my ends so that I don't have split ends that need to be cut off. And so I think a lot of stylists say to get your hair cut every 6 weeks. I probably cut my hair maybe 2 or 3 times a year because I don't need to cut it any other time. And that's just my preference. So that's probably the only bit of advice that I don't necessarily listen to. It works for some people. For me, it just doesn't. It's not something that I would recommend if you are natural and you're using all natural product and you're not really dealing with heat damage or anything like that. Now, if you are trying to grow out your hair and you've got heat damage and you're trying to get your ends to hurry up and get rid of them, then yeah, get your hair trimmed up. But I think the 6 weeks thing is very concrete, and everyone's hair is different. So you should find what works for you. Do you always co-wash, and how do you prevent buildup? I actually experienced this the other day. I had been co-washing, which I didn't realize that I was co-washing so much in the span of like 2 weeks, but I had co-washed like a lot in the 2 weeks, and like my head was itching, y'all. Like, I'm talking about, I was like, what the heck? And I could feel it, like, you know, I was getting flakes on my scalp and stuff. I was like, I know my scalp isn't dry. Like, what is going on? But it was like buildup. Like, I had so much product buildup that my hair, it was bad. And I was like, oh my gosh, like, when was the last time I cleansed my hair? Because I had been co-washing and I had so much going on that I didn't even think about it. So usually I co-wash about 2 times and then I cleanse. How do you refresh your curl? So I refresh my curls, like I said earlier, with just some curl refresher spray, whether that be, you know, Obia Natural has a really awesome spray, Design Essentials new coconut and Manoi spray. So I like to use sprays. If I really need to revive a wash and go, I'll section off my hair in like 4 big sections, nothing too fancy, and just wet my hands and kind of add a little bit more of the styling product that I use for that wash and go, and just re-dampen my hair a bit. And if I need to, I'll go ahead and diffuse it a bit too. So that usually stretches my wash and goes for another day or 2. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, part 2 of the Instagram Q&A. If you guys have any more questions, feel free, comment down below, like this video, all that good stuff. I will try my best to answer questions as they come in. And so again, you guys are awesome and the best, and stay tuned. We've got some awesome things coming for you guys in this spring, and so stay tuned. If you guys aren't following me on Instagram, that is where I'm posting all the time, so you'll get the most up-to-date info about what I'm doing and what I have in store via Instagram. And also, if you haven't yet, check out my new website, www.lipstickandcurlswith2s's.com. I've got some blog posts up there, and just, you know, something fun, some way to give you guys more content on a regular basis. So if you're just on YouTube, go head over to my website and check out what else I have in store for you guys. But until next time, I'll talk to you later. Bye.